You're welcome to News Review brought to you by Wisdom Yard Television. I am Ayomiko and I have with me in the studio Mr. Francis as well as Mufi Follower. I know you all are very conversant with Mufi Follower, but yeah, let's welcome Mr. Francis. You're welcome on the show. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm very fine. I used to call him a guest.
Actually, you're not a guest, but to our viewers, exactly. You know, they only see you occasionally. Exactly.
Yeah, that's because I'm I'm a scarce commodity. Welcome again, my viewers, to this wonderful show. I'm Mr. Francis.
Thank you very much. Now let's go to the business of the day. We'll be reviewing from different newspapers as always. I will start with the Vanguard newspaper. Pastor kidnaps self twice, collects ransom in Plateau State. BB Niger Titans begins January 15. Meet hosts Ebuka Obi Uchendu and Lawrence Malika. PVC collection, Labour Party raises alarm over slow pace of distribution. China supports families to have multiple children. The Punch newspaper has the following headlines. Tinubu campaign molds alliance with small parties. Federal government to hire Nigerian doctors and nurses abroad. Kuku borrowed the whole Kuku borrowed the whole 2023 budget. Ezekwesili. Obi promises to negotiate with Biafran agitators. Daily Post has the following headlines. You've completely failed Nigerians. MFB tells Buhari. Lagos government warns students against cultism gangs. Ekiti task force seals off another petrol station. Gunmen kill man, abduct family members in Abuja. Banks defy CBN order. Load ATM with old Naira notes in Ogun State. Premium Times has the following headlines. Buhari signs mental health bill after 2 failed attempts. PDP speaks on crisis tearing APC apart in Enugu State. Akwa Ibom APC governor aspirants wants court to jail opponent over alleged perjury. The Nation's newspaper has the following headlines. Protest rocks Abuja over CBN governor. What Nigerians stand to gain from Tinubu Shetima, Buhari tells Nigerians. Lagos PDP gubernatorial candidate mourns late AMAA founder Ani Yam Osigwe. INEC cannot be trusted, says Showore. That is all we have on the headlines, and we're starting off with this news, and it is from the Punch newspaper. Last lap, Tinubu campaigns more alliance with smaller parties. Ahead of the February 25 presidential election, the All Progressive Congress Campaign Council is planning on forming an alliance with small parties just in a bid to boost their chances of winning its presidential candidate for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you should recall that this APC Campaign Council have also met with the G5, the aggrieved governors of the People Democratic Party, just for them to also support the ex-governor of Lagos State, but it's been to no avail because they are just quite adamant, not supporting the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress. So they decided that what do we do? There's no how everything can be so much against us. Let's go for these small parties. So they've called out to SDP as well as Accord Party to please join with them and canvass for them to make their own followers cast their votes for the All Progressive Congress presidential candidates, of which is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just for them to at least record success in the forthcoming election. And I want to believe that that's actually a smart move, because obviously we've always been saying it on this table that when we talk about presidential candidates, we only think of Atiku, Tinubu, as well as Peter Obi. Before you even think of Showore or Imomwen or Kwakwaso, exactly, you first talk about these three. So I think it's a good one. It's so that you guys will not even lose at both ends. Why don't you join us?
I am not actually saying that it's a smart move.
Okay, so
everybody knows that whoever is going to emerge is going to come from either PDP, APC, Labour Party.
Okay.
Starting, even the presidential candidates of the remaining parties already know that as a fact, that they really don't have a chance to win. Now I'm not saying it as a smart move on the part of the APC.
Okay.
I'm just seeing it as them being scared. Because APC is the ruling party in Nigeria, so they are supposed to not have any problems. They are supposed to not have any issues. They are supposed to be confident, but they know that their legs are shaking. If not, why would they even go to the G5 in the first place? Tinubu met with the G5 in London several times just to, I know that if you people join APC and just me, I have an higher chance of winning president.
Yeah, sure.
If it's not that he's scared that it's like something is wrong.
And
then all right, if he was not scared, he wouldn't have done that. And when Obasanjo endorsed Peter Obi,
it was actually shaking them.
It was shaking them. The endorsement was, in fact, it was a lot of ethic for them.
For everybody.
So, for every one of them. So if those things, if it was not like they were actually scared, all these things would not move them. So they don't feel like, it's like maybe we are going to lose.
That's why I actually called it a smart move on their path. They've already seen it that this, before they were like, okay, you see this Obasanjo that has said he endorsed Peter Obi, it's just like nothing. Tinubu even said that Obasanjo can't even win his polling unit, not to talk of that it will be, that is just like nothing. But maybe they've decided to see it and think, and they've seen it that, hey, guy, if we say we should continue this way, if we say what we are thinking, so they felt like, let's be smart enough. At least, the reason I said they are smart is because they decided to go to this SDP and Accord first, before any other party, before PDP at least. Let's forget about Labour Party now.
PDP.
Yeah, before PDP.
With them over.
No. Let's say probably they've also been thinking of that before the PDP. They've done that. Mr. Francis, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, you see, that is a norm. It happens every time. I think that is what they call major. You see, every political party is like we're waiting for the somebody that will approach them, the party that will approach them, and they will merge and they will discuss. I think that's how it has been all over
since inception.
Yeah, because if you say, okay, fine, let's work for you. When you win, what will you give us? What are the positions that will take in your government, your cabinet? So that it has been happening like that. Even in states, they merge for a bigger party and the bigger candidate to emerge, and they work in unison. Like the one that happened in Ogun State when it was the crisis of Kashamu, Buriji Kashamu, Lade Adedibutu, that they actually gave the judgment, I think the court rulings in favor of Buriji Kashamu. We also saw that even the Lade Adedibutu went to have a discussion with the APM candidate, the Akenlade, that they later marched together and they struck a deal. Okay, if you get there, eventually it was the APC that
wanted you there.
The election and the whole deal went the way it went. Had it been the APM won the election that was backed by this Ibukula, the sitting governor then, I think the merger would have eluded, because it would have been a 50-50, 70-30, 60-40 team. So it's an agreement. So in Tinubu's case, merging is not a new thing. See, they will look for other parties that are not less viable, so to say, that are less popular, so to say. They will merge and create a larger coast. So them feeling jittery, I don't think it's being free, feeling jittery. It's like, it's enough. It's the merge, the lesser parties will okay, fine. Like the other time, you say some parties they didn't feel, they just fielded a governorship candidate in House of
Assembly. And the grassroots.
And they work, so many of them work for Buhari. So it happens like that. So I think that's what I'm seeing.
That is happening right here. But Mr. Francis, for the fact that Tinubu actually met with the G5, the aggrieved governors of the President of People's Democratic Party, that has actually proven to us that to a larger fault, he was actually the party is scared. They are already feeling defeated to some extent. That it's not coming.
If you say scared, I will agree, and I will not really agree. Why are they scared? The truth of the matter is that it's a win-win thing. Politics and game of electioneering is calculation. You calculate your games. Okay, fine. In this territory, maybe the Igbo territory, because Tinubu is going to have like they are splitting the southeast, southwest with Obi, that one.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a calculative measure. So for him to say, okay, fine, come over, let's merge. maybe I'll give you ministers, I'll give you commissioners, I'll give you some juicy offers. It's normal. It's not. Don't say it's. Is it when they sit down and do this formulation, you may not understand the game. Remember that some of them that are now in APC were once in PDP, were once powerful men and women in PDP.
Of course.
So it's a game of number. Like Tinubu knows that the more he brings people in, the better the party becomes and well spread up. So he will not want to say get like the G5 you were mentioning. The G5 to have their own. The G5, yeah, they have their own supporters too, and they are proving stronger by the day. And I think that's what Tinubu is saying. That okay, fine. But the truth of the matter is that maybe the offer they gave those G5 were not favorable, so they are still waiting that
for the best, the highest bidder.
The best offer. You say the highest bidder, but me, I will pick the best offer, and they will have a lot of frustration because politics is all about. It's like business. Is it going to favor me? Am I going to benefit from here? And it's going to favor me. Oh, we go.
So if I want to judge by the alliance that Tinubu his body has actually started with, I want to say that there are chances that he would record a success in the forthcoming election.
Yeah, you see why I'm not going to say yes or no now. You see the system has changed. You see the election system has changed. You know, they said they were going to they are going to bring in the beavers. And the beavers is you and your vote.
Sure.
You see, it's not going to be the usual way of ballot stuffing and the rest of it. It's going to be well calculated, it's well articulated, and well registered. So in this method, everybody is like, what are we going to do? How are we going to work it out? Because it's not going to be the way the ballot snatching. That's a problem. It is electronically recorded, and that's a problem. So the way I'm looking at it, Tinubu too is being calculated. The APC, they are being calculated. Leave that now is numbers. See, if you don't have a card, forget it. You are not a PVC. You are not in this business. And if you are not eligible to go vote, you are not in this business. Okay. So all those stuffing, I think it's not going to work.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Francis. Mufi, what do you have to say?
Mr. Francis was saying earlier that it's actually a norm for them to want to
merge.
But don't you think it's quite embarrassing for the All Progressives Congress, considering how far Tinubu is assuring Nigerians that it is his turn? They do it as if no matter what it is, I am going to merge with them. And Mr. Francis, please, I'm not actually countering your points. I'm just giving my own opinion from my own view. And considering the fact that the APC is the ruling party, now they now want to merge. They are not merging with big parties, just SDP and AC. You see, these parties are they are relevant here, but they are not parties people reckon with in the country. You get so if they actually mention that we want to merge with NNPP, we want to merge with Labour Party, then we can say fine. It would actually have a significance in the election and all of those things. Like you said, it's a norm, but I feel like it's quite embarrassing.
You are not seeing the game. See, let me tell you, some surprises will spring up. In weeks. Let me tell you, some of these parties will still come together and say we are working for somebody. See, that's why I said it's a norm. That's what. See, in politics, the only way they understand is that the game is a game of numbers. You see, this is the time that they parley, they make friends just to get their vote. In the next 4 years, it may not be the same, but now they can spend anything to just get somebody into the system.
Exactly.
So politics, the way they understand is like numbers. So Tinubu too, now don't say he wants votes. He wants votes. He can agree with anybody in as much as the person is bringing in.
So if I want to understand that properly, what you're trying to say is that he actually wants votes. So you can be his friend and you are still not his friend.
Just for the sake of the
just
election.
for the.
That's the way
so after that, you can actually start.
You know what the politics is actually a dirty game.
Yeah,
that's just it.
That's just the dirtiness. Okay, thank you very much. I hope the viewers at home also knows the best. You know whom you're voting, and the whole of it is just in your own. So you can actually share your opinion in the comments box. Moving on, Pastor kidnaps self twice, collects ransom in Plateau State. The police command in Plateau has arrested a particular pastor who allegedly kidnapped himself several times and collected ransom from members of the congregation. According to the report, they've actually been a kidnap of himself from November 14 and 15 in 2022, where he received 400,000 and 200,000 respectively from the congregation, you know, all in the name of, where's pastor? They kidnap pastor. Oh yeah, you pay this amount to, yeah, tithe, offering, everything, pack it together, you know, just to release our pastor. So all of them, through that, there were a kind of suspicion that arose, and people were like, okay, so the police command invited this pastor for interrogation. That okay, you are a survivor of kidnap. Okay, what can you say? You know, just what's your experience? At least they've done this to you twice. Is it that you're that? I don't understand. You're not even exactly. So now during the investigation, they realized that he has gang members. So right now he's in the. This actually happened around last year from November, but right now they were able to, you know, bring the whole thing together because he kidnapped himself November 14 and 15. So during that period, you know, he was still gallivanting, you know, as the big man, the pastor that has collected money. But the police actually got him and got two of his accomplices, and one is still out there that they are still looking for. But my point now is the fact that you are a pastor and you're supposed to be a man of God. You are supposed to be a model to your congregation. The congregation now have to carry their money, you know, everything they've earned, you know, they in their mind bringing to church to serve God, and you are governing over them just to collect their money, kidnapping yourself, and, you know, extorting poor church members. When at the end of the day, when we want to say anything, we'll say that it's the government. Is it everything that is the government? That's a leader in his own space, and look at what he's doing.
The sooner we understood the fact that not every pastor was called by God, the better for us. Let's even leave religion now. Let's leave Pastor. You know how some people disguise as doctors and nurses. You know, exactly. Now bringing it back, you are a man. You're just I want to believe that he became a pastor because of poverty, because of his stomach, because he wanted money. And we've seen a whole lot of people like that. They will show themselves, they will use pictures them as pastors. However, they are doing a lot of dirty things you're not supposed to find with a pastor. Now, if actually you were into rituals, or you were trying to extort your congregation, your members. Exactly. I mean, who does that? Now, if I'm sure a member of that church will now be out one day and say, I don't want to go to church again, I don't believe in any pastor.
Exactly, of course.
See, if we want to be realistic, religion has actually caused us more harm in this country, because the way most of us carry religion on our head, the way some people worship their pastors. If not, what would...
the thing is that before Mr. Francis actually talks, there's one thing that I know. If it were to be one of their neighbors that was kidnapped and they say, please, they asked for this so amount of ransom, I'm like, hey, God will help you out. You know, they would not want, like, what my point now is that they might actually not contribute, the congregations now. But for the fact that it's their pastor, they just want, pastor, okay, God, you know, that kind of thing. So they dropped their money. Mr. Francis, what do? It's actually very funny when I read the headline.
The truth about that, you have just nailed it. It's not all those people that said pastor. Pastor is just a name. Pastor is just a title that somebody can decide to call. It's no criteria guiding that name. So for the fact that it's a pastor, that's why the news is that he's calling himself a pastor. To me, I don't want to judge, but I will still judge. I don't see that kind of person as a pastor. Of course. Because the truth of the matter is that if this is really a pastor, there should be traces. How can he kidnap himself and he's a business person. He should remove just the title of pastor and be. Then we are just talking of pastors now. We have quacks all over. The other time we were talking of quack doctors,
exactly,
engineers. So engineers, welders,
electricians.
So if you were to be in the house of God, they will say they will still call them doctor, but we actually know that they are not really doctors. So they are quack lawyers. They are people that practice the legal field, the legal field, that are not even that they've not been called to bar or even had any knowledge of any law and something like that. Maybe some did apprenticeship and have studied some other people and they felt okay, fine. If my boss, maybe some people came like cleaners. Some even came like messengers, PAs, and say, wow, this is a very good job. These are the ways, these are terminologies, these are the actions, and they begin to do. To me, that kind of person, I look at the kind of congregation that he's having. If I think you see, it's just the story of a bird of a feather
that flocks together.
I think that's what happened, because it's this kind of people that will be under him. It's a kind of was it telling them that they will just stand and you show this person is not filled with the Spirit of God, and they are there saying pastor. To me, I don't see.
Okay. You know, some people are actually milk takers. So people, when they see a particular person and you call yourself a pastor, they want to believe that everything you say is directly from God. Because they don't themselves, they don't know God they are serving.
That's why they are swindled, cheated on, and the rest.
And I just hope that the pastor faces the right judgment.
Of course.
Because if it goes back, you know the way Nigerian judiciary system works now. If it goes back to society, he will stop kidnapping himself for money. He will not start kidnapping his congregation.
When he has a team, he has a gang.
Exactly.
You can imagine that kind of person.
Do we even know if he had actually done that?
Maybe that's the business, because like I said the other time, I said, so many people are not robbing again. There's people like I'm robbing again.
It's now
the easiest and the business in food now is kidnapping. Maybe if the three of us can just form a gang and
I know. Even if we form a gang, it will be a gang of kidnappers. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Bank defies CBN order. Load ATM with old Naira notes in Ogun State. Some commercial banks in Abeokuta, Ogun State, the state's capital, appear to have disobeyed the Central Bank of Nigeria as they loaded the automated teller machine with old Naira notes. As earlier said by the CBN directives and also by the Apex Bank, that January 9, 2023, they should start dispensing the new notes. And the highest denomination should be 200 Naira. Even though maybe 200 Naira like in the ATM. Last week on Friday, there were actually some banks that were seen, dispensing that 200 Naira, the new 200 Naira. But later, as at 10 p.m. yesterday, they were dispensing 1,000 Naira notes, and everything was old notes. So even when met with several bank officials, of which were anonymous, they actually said that the money that they want them to dispense is not actually in circulation. It's only the money they have they will sure dispense. So that's to show that the banks don't even have the new notes. Meanwhile, while at their conference in Lagos, the banks and everybody based on the new notes, redesigning and all, they actually said that there is enough, more than enough to go around. Now, what should we believe now, the banks or the CBN directives? They've already said that there's more than enough to go around, and banks are still saying that they don't have it. So statistically, in Abeokuta, generally in Ogun State, the money is not in circulation in banks, and they are still dispensing 1,000 Naira old note at that in their banks.
If it's like that in Ogun State, most likely it will
be like that in exactly
all other neighboring states. You ask the question, who should we believe? I think we should believe the banks, because if they actually add it, they will still be dispensing the old notes. And sometime around last year, earlier this year, when people started complaining of the fact that they've not started seeing the new notes, banks were saying we don't have it. If we have it, we will dispense. Even at the point they had it, some people were not collecting it. But I think everyone is now sensitized to a false. They already know that okay, this is the new notes and all of those things. I think what Central Bank of Nigeria is trying to do, the CBN, is still this cashless policy, because they know that before the deadline, if they put in a lot of new notes into banks,
then it will be dispensation. The
dispensation will be out, and a lot of people would have it. And their aim is not for people to have cash at hand. So if they withhold the money, if they don't give it out to banks, people will not be able to withdraw. At least from before, a lot of people right now, they will be very scared to withdraw the old notes, because getting back into the bank will be more stressful. Because at a point, even some banks will start saying, even before that deadline, don't bring in old notes. So the money will just become useless to them. So I think what they're trying to do is, if you cannot withdraw the old notes, you can't withdraw the new notes. So when it's time for us, I just hope they don't limitation, the withdrawal limitation. I just hope they still don't retract it, such that it will now become lesser than what they actually told us, all in the name of making the cashless policy work. I think that's just the basic thing they're trying to do. I don't know. I think, you know.
Okay, Mr. Francis, what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, you see, you can't give what you don't have. Yeah, for the fact that the banks are still dispensing old notes means they don't have the new notes.
Sure.
They are dispensing what is at their disposal, what is in their stock. So for the fact that CBN is saying they are not obeying, I don't believe in such. But let us also give it to the CBN. I think because I believe that every new policy is not really easy to achieve.
Sure.
Not even the policy. Anything. Look at the time the telecommunications were coming in, the companies were coming in. You know, it was very, 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 very difficult for them to stabilize their per minute billing, their per second billing. But today, everything is stable. Everything is normal. Even the data, though
that one is still
our data. But the truth of the matter is it's a new process, a new policy. And I give it to the CBN too, because the way they are managing the situation and containing the crisis, I think is a very good thing. That is why I say that they are always on the neck of Emefiele, because the way Emefiele came, imagine when they announced the design, the Home Minister of Finance is saying that she doesn't know about it. So that is the way. See, in me, I don't believe that she must know. You know, if her not knowing about it will make it work, let it be. Let it be, because some of them, they were saying that they should stop it. I was even hearing that supposed to be said they should put it in June, so that they will actualize, make their
for the election.
I didn't say. So that is the way it's working. So I give it to the CBN.
But thank you very much. But in the same vein, I actually met with some people, not like I met with them, but I overheard some people discussing, and they were like, people are spending the fake version of the new Naira notes. The person was like, they've spent this particular one, and he just decided that if any other person that is giving me new Naira notes, I don't want it. Because the person has received the fake version. A lot of people don't even know what the original version looks like, not to talk of the fake version. And those at the receiving end are those in the markets.
How sure are you that they are fake version of?
Of course they are fake version, because people are.
Have you seen the genuine one?
The genuine one, of course. I've seen the genuine one.
You were able to compare.
I was unable to compare, because obviously there's no how I would have had the fake version.
So stand there that it's just mere speculations.
I don't want to believe that it's mere speculation, Mr. Francis.
Even regardless of the fact that it's speculations or not, this is Nigeria. People will look for opportunities to make money. Now, the problem is, even the new Naira note is not yet in circulation. So it is easy for people to make counterfeit.
No, not yet in circulation, not yet fully. Because I've seen it. No,
it's not about, Mr. Francis, when we talk about, I'm very sorry, when we talk about seeing and in circulation, you might have seen it, but when something, let's look at it from this verse. Okay, they said that this new Naira note has to be the legal tender by 31st of January. This is January 11. To some extent, we should have at least, even if you're having 3 1,000 Naira notes with you, 2 should be the new notes.
Well, you don't know they are joker.
As of now, no, I just.
The joker they played when they were like introducing the design. Let me tell you, see, in this life you cannot really satisfy everybody. But to an extent, I'm still giving it to the CBN governor. Forget it. This thing is just not up to 2 months. 2 months. I'm telling you, the whole process is 3 months. If it's going to end this January, it's 3 months. And look at the effort they've done, they put in. Look at the level they. So let's give it to them. It's
Mr. Francis, it's like you yet to understand my point.
That is not a circulation.
That is not even my point. My point is, people are here to identify which is fake and which is original. And people, there are some people that they don't even know that there's a new Naira note.
They don't have a game plan.
The game plan is not the problem. The problem is 31st of January is just
this
here.
Is just, it's not yet, it's not even yet the 15th of January.
But this is remaining just 20 days.
Don't worry, they may have a game plan.
Mr. Francis, why are you saying don't worry?
Because you are not even exactly.
You see, let me tell you, with the way we are looking at it, the way Emefiele is doing his things,
okay.
I think he has some things that is hiding too, that is just bringing out even the space of like 2-3 days, and he just bring it out. I think that's what is happening, because you know that so many people will really come against him, against the policy and the rest of it. So that's why I'm already believing in the whole policy. I can't tell you.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to believe that Mr. Francis is just hand in hand with Emefiele, and he wants to do everything to support Emefiele today. But I need to solve some things. So let's go on a commercial break, short commercial break, after which we'll be right back. But please stay tuned, because this is where you can always get the best.
Afford to be late for this meeting.
Give me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every. You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
it is always Nokpa.
Nokpa for management of power.
I still news review brought to you by Wisdom Yard Television. I still have with me Mofin Folua and Mr. Francis. He has been doing everything he has in his part to support Emefiele, even though I'm still telling him that this Naira note is not in circulation. Some certain people do not even identify the fake from the genuine copy of the notes that are just being redesigned. But he's still telling me that don't worry. Thank you very much. So on that note, let's move forward. PVC collection, Labour Party raises alarm over slow pace of distribution, and the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council has raised alarm over what is described as the ineptitude of the staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission. And the whole thing is that they are distributing the permanent voters card, and it's just 2 weeks to the end of the exercise. You know, they actually said that from January 22, there will be nothing like collection of PVC. So you need to collect your PVC before then. And meanwhile, they've moved it to the ward level, so people have to go to their ward, you know, their local government, to receive their own PVC. But the problem now is that some people even get there and they have to queue for over 4 hours, 5 hours, and they are unable to get their PVC. The problem is now, like, the INEC staffs comes to work by 9 a.m. and they leave by 3. So it's just 9 to 3, Monday to Sundays. So you that went there on Monday, maybe have to work, and you can't even get your PVC. At the end of the day, according to their report, that sometimes a lot of people, like 500 people, will be on the queue, and at the end of the day, they will just attend to 50 or 20 through the day. So somebody like that, the remaining part of the queue will have to come back the next day to get it. So it's tiring, and some people might actually get frustrated. So the Labour Party Campaign Council is actually pleading to the Electoral Commission to look into this, because this is actually something that they want people to vote, you know, their own members. They want them to cast their votes for them, and they can't do that just because they don't have their PVC. And this is not their fault. It's not that they are not going there to receive it, but the INEC body at large is the one causing it.
I've had my PVC before now, so I don't know what the whole collection exercise looks like.
Okay.
But I don't know, is it not to just enter the office, probably fill a form and collect your PVC?
No, there's been a prior registration. Okay. So after the registration, they started December, I think December, ending of December, or maybe December 15. Okay. That's when they started collection of the PVC. You know, they registered, so people that have registered, they give them dates to come back to collect it. And the collection, I think it's as a process of maybe to operate. I'm not so sure, but it's just a little process. But it takes so long that a lot of people queue. Some people go there from early in the morning until dawn, until night. They can't even get their PVC.
You know, I was saying it, was it yesterday or the day or Monday? I can't remember, but I was saying it on this table that INEC should actually do better. They should probably extend the time of collection, or they should employ more people, at least for this period. Because we can only say people should go and collect. You know, we've been advocating the collection of PVC for a very long time. Now they've gone out, they can't even collect the PVC. And some people, a lot of people don't even like stress. Nigeria is stressful, you know.
Exactly. I don't even like
under
stress
the sun because I want to collect PVC. So the whole thing is actually very stressful for a lot of people. So if any can actually employ more human resources, or those they have, let them extend the time of their working
collection
hours.
Exactly.
If that method can actually work, because it's okay, fine, people have registered. It's not like people want to use these PVCs for anything. And at the end of the day, if this process keeps going on and on, a lot of people will not be able to collect their PVCs, and people will still they will still accuse the INEC of, you know, not giving out the PVCs because of an ulterior motive that they want to.
That's actually what the man was saying.
To use the leftover PVCs to, you know, vote,
manipulate the election,
electoral malpractices.
Exactly.
So they should employ more services. Or what do you think, Mr. Francis?
Mr. Francis?
Yeah, I think what INEC is doing, they are still doing okay, because the ward level is the least level of government of their reach to the people. But you see, it happens like this. If they have 2 weeks to dispense to distribute the cards, don't forget that the first 5 days will be like everybody wants to be there. And with time, it will be to start dwindling, to start reducing. And definitely they will meet up. Don't forget it. Because okay, 500 people come and collect something. You know, the first instance,
a lot of people will be exactly.
So by the time they start reducing 10, I think the number will. So it happens like, don't forget our mentality too, the African mentality. Once the process is not favorable, it's not working. Once the process is not in your favor, they are doing rubbish. Because then, you see, if for those people to come to say, okay, fine, let's go to the ward level, I think the ward level, I don't believe they are up to like 500 I will collect that thing from that ward. I don't think so. So they are really working it out. But by the time they see that, okay, fine, this time limit is not workable, they can extend it. So I think let's praise them.
You know, it's been going on since December 12.
Easy way. Look at those people that are. Some people may not even go there to collect. Some people they cannot endure for like 2-3 hours. Don't forget that
some people, Mr. Francis.
It takes time.
Mr. Francis, this is okay. This 2 to 3, 4 hours that you're talking about. Somebody like some people, they don't even have the luxury of 1 minute. Due to their work, you understand? They have to just exactly.
No, some establishments gives
okay, the establishment that has already given, okay, go and get your PVC, and they are giving you maybe 3 hours, 2 days. Can
some
you go?
can give 1 day. If they really love this company,
1 day, even if they give you 1 day, if you don't get it that day, that means
there's no how you can get them the money except you have other things to do.
Mr. Frank, do you know some people actually go there 2-3 days and they've still not been able to
gotten it?
Because it will be reducing. By the time you can give yourself calculation, okay, fine. You know, if it's 20 days, the first 5-10 days will be very hectic until let me wait. And the rest of when the crowd reduces, you now just go. I think it's calculative too.
Calculative.
Yeah,
so if everybody calculates the fact that I will go by 5 days to the end of the distance, so a lot of
people will.
So but the truth of the matter is that there's no how the people will not still have people to collect it. It's have passed through that process too.
Okay.
So they can even target them in the morning and get your thing, or later in the evening.
Okay, so that is to say that do not allow any delimitation or limitation or retrogression to affect you. Make sure that you get your PVs. It's very important. You know, we actually need to endure just for us to be able to enjoy. So if you really want to enjoy, you need to endure. So endure the stress of collecting your PVC and make sure you get it. And when you get it, don't allow anybody to manipulate you by asking for the name or the number, the digits. It's yours. It's personal, okay? And then the other news we have federal government to hire Nigerian doctors and nurses abroad. The Minister of Health, Osage, has said that they want to address the brain drain in the health sector and, you know, change it to a kind of brain gain. So now they understand the fact that a lot of people have traveled outside of the country just for greener pasture, so to say. You know, they are looking for a better place where they are being paid and well appreciated. So for that fact, they understand that, but they are now looking towards, you know, bringing them here, employing them, you know, hiring them that, okay, come work for us, even though you're Nigerian. But we understand the fact that you've decided to let go of the country for a better place. Please come back here. But fine, not like come back. You'll be like a visiting somebody that visits, or maybe through video call when they want to do surgery. Okay, oh yeah. I'm just actually getting that.
Nigeria has actually failed in the health
exactly, they've really done that.
The National Association of Resident Doctors, they already threatened the federal government that if they don't meet up their demands, they will go on strike, a nationwide strike for as long as they want to.
Sure.
This same period, you are saying you want to employ Nigerians that are already abroad for. Now, the thing is, they will be dispersed to teaching hospitals and universities. This is anatomy. Anatomy is a process of this and this. So if you want to do this online, the ones that are in Nigeria, the ones that are holding physical classes, you've not paid them. You are owing them salaries and a lot of things. Now you don't also hire the ones that will now teach the students online. The things they've taught us physically, we don't even understand yet. You now want to employ an online class. So if they have the surgery to do, they will travel down. You pay for that flight ticket, the money for.
Why don't you just manage the one here?
Exactly my point. Manage the ones here, equip them, equip the hospitals, pay their bills. You see that when you do all of this, even the doctors, they'll be eager to work because they know that they're getting paid for their money. These people abroad, why do you think they go abroad? Because they know that no matter how much I work, even if I work 24 hours in a day, I'll still get my money. Everybody is working for money. So if you employ that method in Nigeria as well, don't employ, even though they are Nigerians, leave them, they've gone, leave them alone. The ones here, empower them, equip them, the hospitals, provide the necessary equipment they need. Let them work efficiently, give them pay their salaries, their allowances, everything. Make life comfortable for them and see how well they would work.
And based on what you just said, I felt like what they are supposed to do is to bring up the Nigerian health sector to a particular way that people abroad will even covet the sector. Be like, ah, God, why did I even leave Nigeria?
The problem is not with Nigeria alone, other countries.
Yeah, exactly. Like UK, doctors go to Canada and.
Yeah, see, let's just say it. I mean, I always say it.
Okay.
You see, the truth of the matter is that we are playing politics with almost everything.
And it's not supposed to be.
You see, to me, how can you tell me that you that want to run a policy, you that are you that is in charge of a department, you have issue, you will fall sick, you will go abroad to treat yourself. So what are you telling us in Nigeria that number one, there's nothing that will work in Nigeria? You see, the other time we're saying, okay, fine, let's start from the president. The president, okay, fine, sir, we have mandated you. Don't travel abroad for any medical treatment. Yeah, if you want any treatment, bring them in, bring the facilities in. If it costs extra borrowing to make, when the facilities are there, other citizens will benefit from it. So what the truth of the matter is that they already know that the system is wrong. They are part of the system too, and you can imagine playing politics with doctors. And it is still, it's not only in the medical field too, it's everywhere.
The education, every sector.
In the teaching hospitals. What are the facilities being used there? What is the curriculum you run there? So you see, everything needs to be rigged, everything needs to be revisited, everything needs to be you see, revised. Look at it. Can imagine? Okay, let's leave the medical line. Let's go to the legal field. How can you tell me that I can be able to treat a fraud case when I was not taught fraud in the university? Can you imagine that even some say they are studying computer engineering, computer science? How can a computer science student that don't have access to a computer? It's happening in universities. Go and investigate. Sure. Some people say, we didn't even press a computer for 4 years, and that person is a graduate of computer science. They will just give them statistics, they will begin to draw lines. So
they just go with theory, no practical.
Because the system has not been revised. Everything, so, and that's the system that everybody go. I watched a movie, an Indian movie, I think the Three Idiots, and there was a guy that was querying the professor. The professor he already has it. His first year course, is there. No room for improvement, no room for okay, fine.
So it's just been them following a particular rigid
and
structure.
Said, no. You can imagine if there's a case of Ebola, the Lassa fever. See, there are new diseases that are coming in. So what happens? How do they treat them? And that's why there's trial and error, there's mistakes all over and all over. You see, please, the truth of the matter is that as I'm saying it, for us to see a revised medical system and all the systems that follows, our leaders should lead by example. They should stop traveling abroad for medical treatments and the rest of it. Some people will say they want to go and have, they want to rest. They are having migraine. No, they are off because they have access to private jets. So they will just go and say, Baba went to treat migraine, Baba went to treat ampe. So it's a shame on us. Please, our leaders, please, don't play politics with all these fields so that you don't start going to Boris Patricks. Even in the construction field, all over is the Chinese that are building our roads. What happens to the civil engineers in this country?
They are just studying it in the country.
And Chinese are building our bridges, building our roads, and we are our own home-based engineers.
Thank
you very much. I want to admonish the incoming president, because right now there's little to what Buhari can do. Even though he has promised us that before May 29 he will still do a lot of gudu meje and yaya mefa. But the thing is that the next president that will be coming on board, we just want you to do the best. Do better when it comes to the health sector. It's the sectors, especially like the health sector, because at least if everything in this world is down, if you have good health, we still have hope. It's when you are alive that you can think of the education is not good, this is not good, this is that. Exactly. So we should just do better. The next government should please look into this health sector, the education sector, the economic sector, every sector at large. Let it be part of your cardinal projects. So it shouldn't be everything, everything should be the pressing issue. Like I said yesterday, the things that Buhari was unable to correct in his own administration, the next administration should be able to do that. That is the only way you can please Nigerians, because we are aggrieved. We also aggrieved. And so the last headline for today, protest rocks Abuja over CBN governor. Many youth are protesting at the Central Bank of Nigeria's headquarters in Abuja, and they are calling for the resignation of the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, over what they described as his refusal to appear before the security operatives for questioning. And their placards that they are carrying actually was talking about the fact that they want Emefiele to be sacked, and also that they felt like he's funding or financing terrorism in the country, and amongst other allegations. But my own point is that with everything that is happening in Nigeria right now, I feel like you should just let him be, because financing terrorism this terrorism of a thing, Boko Haram, kidnapping, ritualism, it's been something that has been even before Emefiele. So fine, maybe they actually passed the baton to him. You know, I don't know. And you can't even say somebody has done something without any genuine evidence.
How can you be alleging people? You see, the truth of the matter is that me, I'm just seeing politics in everything that is happening here. You know, Emefiele, with like I told you, just relax and see. He has his game plan too, and it's not giving it to people to let them know. How can you just tell me, okay, fine, me, I want to secure an environment, and you want to ask me how am I going to secure the environment? You are trying to know how, so that I can counter.
You know, my strategy.
Yeah, you know, so you see the way is coming. It's coming. He already has the backing of the president, and the president is fully in support of him, and he's doing well. At least he said there's going to be currency. We have seen the currency. I've not seen 500 naira. I've seen 500.
I've seen 200 naira.
I've touched 100. I've spent it. So I'm here to spend the 500 naira. But the truth of the matter is that's why I say you should just relax.
Okay.
The truth here is he has his own game plan. And it's not favoring some set of people. And not only they can fund, they can finance those protesters and they push them there. So just trying to make some money. So see, the truth of what we are seeing here is Emefiele is doing good. You said I'm his PA. Yeah, but me, I would actually
agree with Mr. President that until they have an evidence against him, it's genuine ones that okay, this is. You know, when they alleged him before now, the reason the court did not allow DSS to arrest him was because they only gave the name Emefiele. They did not say Godwin Emefiele, the CBN governor or anything. So until they're able to say Godwin Emefiele, the CBN governor of Nigeria, and all those things, then we can know, oh, Daddy, you also did this.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, and it's been an amazing one with these people here with me. And thank you very much for joining us. As always, don't you forget we are still here till Friday, so you still meet us tomorrow for news review. I remain Ayomiko, and until next time, I'm leaving you with a lot of joy, peace, and happiness.